The Fluffy and the CEO podcast is a sister and brother from the Midwest, bringing their unique perspectives on life, family, work, and the human condition. I hope you're ready to have an adult conversation. Today's episode, physical and mental wellness.
Good one.
All right, guys, episode 6, season finale. How you feeling?
Whoop, whoop.
Big time.
What are you wearing there, Fluffy? What's on your shirt?
Well, today I'm wearing one of my teaching shirts. I'm an English teacher, and a protagonist is the main character in a story. And I love literature and metaphors, and I love how this T-shirt reminds me that we are all the main character in our own stories. We're the creator, the writer of our own lives. Protagonist.
Nice. Well, you look pretty great, so.
Thank you.
How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing good. That's the first time I've ever heard that word.
Yeah, protagonist. Everyone is the main character, the writer of their own story.
What's your story telling you today, Ryan?
I'm excited. This is the final episode, and I think you picked an awesome subject. That's something I would like to speak on. But before we go on that, I just wanted to cover one thing for 1 minute. It's kind of been on my spirit. So this is our final episode that my brother-in-law's put together. It's our first season. And a lot of the episodes, my sister and I, and we'll continue to kind of banter between the man and the woman. But I want to make sure this message is not confused, okay? When you hear these podcasts, and if you're thinking, oh, this guy is anti-woman, that is not the case. I have high positions in my organization by women. I love women. My wife's awesome. But what I'm trying to say, and I'll shut up and I'll make it really short and simple, is when I speak on it, I'm basically speaking that I do feel there should be roles, and that's kind of getting confused and thinned out and diluted. So that's basically what I believe. I do feel a man has a purpose and a female has a purpose, and I feel a family has a purpose, and I feel that's important to society. So I just wanted to get that out there.
Awesome. So our format of this podcast is to bring our audience along on some of the conversations we might have over the kitchen table, things that are important in our lives, and hopefully something that everyone can relate to, like men and women. So with that being said, are you ready for an adult conversation?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So like I mentioned, our topic is physical and mental wellness. So I'm going to start out with this question. Have you ever heard the phrase mind, body, and spirit? And do you think these three are connected? We'll start with you, Ryan.
1,000%.
It's the Holy Alliance. You can't have one without the other two, I believe.
Correct. Now, if a person's an atheist, they might discount the word spirit and just use mind and body.
That's true. That's true. But I believe they're deeply connected.
So let's start with the first one. So how important is physical fitness to your mental well-being?
Oh, for me, it's everything. It keeps me sober. It keeps me focused. It keeps me excited. It lets me live my life. It lets me dream. It lets me take risk. Everything I do starts with that. It really does. Luckily, my sister is one of the few people who can testify this is not a 2-year journey for her brother. She's seen him do it since age 10, and I'll do it till I die, because if I don't, my brain, and I don't know why, just I call it demons. I can have thoughts and things I don't want, and things that don't make me feel good. So to answer your question, for me, my mind is 100% linked to fitness.
And for me, I'm not a gym rat. I don't like the gym, never have. So my main mode of exercise is just to move. just to move. And I love to walk. And when I do exercise, my favorite form of exercise, and I think, Ryan, you will agree with this because you're the runner, I'm the walker. And I love to be outside when I'm exercising. When I'm walking, I love to be with nature. And especially in Ohio, we have such 4 beautiful, diverse seasons. So I love walking, and physical wellness for me goes along with nature.
100%.
So we live in Ohio. Sometimes we can't always get outside. Does that seasonal affect disorder, is that a real thing? Does that impact the way you feel and your ability to exercise?
Well, it's true. My least favorite season, I'm kind of a weirdo on this, my least favorite season is the summer. Spending 21 years as a Marine Corps wife, based mostly in very hot and humid climates. I've gotten a lot of skin cancer over the years, and even before that, I just did not like the heat. I'm not a person like that, and I know, Ryan, you like the beach though, right?
Yeah, I like the summer. It just allows me to be more active. So I do think the seasonal disorder is a real thing for sure.
Yeah, it's summer for me.
So talked about the physical fitness aspects, but the mental, we seem to be in a crisis in America with anxiety and just overall mental health. And what role do you think medication should play in people's mental health?
I'm probably going to offend people with this, and I'm not trying to, because I do feel there's, I don't know the number, but there's obviously some human beings I do feel need medication,
Sure.
and it's beneficial to
Yes.
them. But I think 90% of it's overprescribed and not needed.
Yeah, I will definitely agree with that. And I will also say that when it comes to a person's physical and mental health, that's very private. And I don't think anyone else has the right to judge that. I'm a huge believer in privacy on that level. But I agree with Ryan. I think medication, especially when we talk about anxiety and depression medication, I do think it's overprescribed as well.
So you mentioned, Ryan, that your prescription is exercise. What's your favorite, thing to do when you need to get it out?
Just get a good sweat, whether that's running, swimming, something that my wife, Katie, always hears me say this. One of my toxic traits, I love feeling exhausted. Why do I like that? Because I have a mind that does not stop. And when I'm exhausted, I'm kind of zenned out. My stress is low. And I'm actually able to be in the moment, whether I'm with her at dinner, I'm watching a show. I can't explain why it works that way, but it does.
Oh, I'm the same way, though. The best sleep I get is when I'm tired. I think that's very true for a lot of people.
So as we've gotten older, has the way you've exercised changed?
100% for me. Till about, and it's funny you said that. I was telling my pop this, that I started running and swimming because I'm 49, and I can remember about age 42, 43. So from 18 to 43, I was like a lot of you fellows, weights. Loved that. Well, the body was not responding and cooperating, and I was having more stress not being able to do what I used to be able to do. So once I made that mental switch and said, hey, you're not going to be able to lift like you were at 25, so either accept it or transition and do something different. And what I chose to do was go from weights to more a cardiovascular program, and it's worked for me because I was not a good runner, so it's allowed me to kind of start at the bottom and get that feedback of improvement still. And I think that's key for people when they're exercising. You have to get some improvement because the improvement will want you to keep doing it.
What advice would you give someone who's just maybe hasn't worked out for a while and they want to get back into it, or maybe they've never worked out in their life? How do you get started?
Just don't overthink it. Just get the heart rate up. So like my sister said, if you want to walk around the neighborhood, if you want to sit in the basement and just watch a DVD and do 10 jumping jacks, get used to what your heart beating a little faster. Get used to your breath kind of going. And then after that, the routine and the discipline, the day after day, what you'll find is you're naturally just going to extend that. If you walked 50 yards for 2 straight weeks, I promise you, your body's going to say go 75 yards because you're just feeling good and you're feeling better. So too many people overthink it. Too many people start out with an agenda, and I'm going to do this or that. And what do we all know? They don't achieve it. They get depressed. They quit. You have to just say, it'll be what it'll be. But the key is the consistency. That is the key.
The common sense exercise experts always say just start moving more. Just start moving more. And don't expect miraculous results immediately. That doesn't happen, and you set yourself up for failure. Why do New Year's resolutions always fail? Because people go hard for a month and they get tired. So you have to just start moving and don't set unrealistic goals and expectations.
So those unrealistic goals and expectations, do you think everyone feels they're a failure if they don't look like a fitness model after a month of working out?
Sure, because society creates all these images that aren't attainable.
Yeah.
Social media and all that BS.
And then that goes back to when you feel that way, a person has to examine how they feel about themselves. Are they insecure? Do they lack confidence? A confident person and an insecure person, that's not going to happen as much.
So are there any things that drive you crazy when you go to the gym? Maybe things people should avoid doing if they're new to the gym?
Well, Ryan can speak on that more because I'm not a gym.
Yeah, I'm pretty easy going. I'd be lying. I don't really get too. I can pretty much deal with most people, so I don't really get too spun about. I'm so focused on what I'm going to do when I go in there. I really don't really see other people.
So is working out for you more of a solo activity? Do you ever do any group activities?
Solo. It's my time. My phone's not ringing. I don't get a text message. Katie will tell you when I can put my headphones on, I leave the house. If I'm going to go run, I'm gone for an hour. That's my time. And I get lost. And I don't expect people to understand this because if you've never tapped into it, you can't relate to it. But the runner's high for us addicts, that is a real thing. That's why we do it. That's why the best people who overcome heroin addictions end up running Ironmans, because that brain activity, that dump of dopamine is exactly almost, in my opinion, I've never done heroin, but the people who've done it have said it exceeds that high. So I've literally got done with runs where I've had about 5 minutes where I've felt like I'm not even in this universe. I feel like I'm just floating and just flying. And then the next day it carries over and I feel I'm at work at my energy level. I feel like I'm in fast forward and everybody else is in slow motion.
How about you, Fluffy? You ever had a runner's high?
No.
Well, how does, we talk about mind, body, and spirit. How does having this physical fitness and then, helping your mental well-being, how does that help your spirit?
Well, I do believe that the body is sacred. People say your body is a temple of God. And I do prescribe to that. And when we were talking on our other podcast about, I think it was spirituality.
Yeah.
What was the topic of that one podcast?
Yeah, it was spirituality and just mental well-being.
Yeah. I think it's crucial to take care of if you believe that your body is a temple, then you need to treat it like a temple. But I always have such gratitude for, and I spoke on that podcast about it, what my body does for me. I really meditate on, when I eat, what my digestive system is doing, how miraculous it is to take a step. I think it's like when you take just one step, you're activating 200 muscles in your body just to take one step. Your circulatory system. So I just have such incredible gratitude for my body, and I try to take care of it as best I can. Am I vegan? Am I a vegetarian? No. But I really believe in moderation. Like I said in that first podcast, I love sugar, I love fat, I love salt, and I love food. But everything in moderation, and I'm just grateful for my temple, and I try to take care of it, and yeah.
I wish I could be like my sister. Moderation is not. I've always wanted to be able to do that, but I can't. I'm an extremist.
How does so you mentioned that, that runner's high, you kind of feel you're transported. Is that like a spiritual experience to you?
Oh, absolutely. It just sinks my mind. It builds my confidence. It gets my energy, and it sets the day. It sets everything. A lot of times on the runs too, I'm working through problems, or I'm thinking of ideas, or I'm dreaming, and all those things, because it's just you and the road and your brain.
So kind of getting back to working out and giving advice to maybe people that are just getting back into it. Are yoga pants a good choice if you aren't doing yoga?
If they're not doing yoga?
Right. Are yoga pants an appropriate choice of somebody to wear if they're doing something other than yoga?
Are you talking about men and women?
Well, anyone who would wear yoga pants. So, Fluffy, what do you like to wear when you're working out?
Well, yeah, I love yoga pants. I think yoga pants and leggings are synonymous, right? So, I'm sorry, I think women claim that area. The reason why we love leggings and yoga pants so much is because it's so comfortable. And I'm sorry, leggings and yoga pants make us feel confident. They're so comfortable and confident, and women love them. They have replaced. It's funny because when I teach, I see more young women wearing yoga pants at school / leggings than jeans. So I think those have replaced jeans in our wardrobe. They're more popular than jeans.
Do you think men are pigs if they're staring at a woman and she's wearing those type pants? Do you think they're disrespecting her, or do you understand why they would be staring?
Yes, that's a good point. I understand why they're staring, because let's make this clear. We love attention from men. Okay? Attention from men is not a bad thing. And I think if we talk about men on a evolutionary basis, I think when a man looks at a woman, he either says that's someone to mate with or to protect. But where I draw the line is, let's make this clear, that no man ever anymore has the right to tell women what to wear. Those days are over.
I'd agree with that, but here's my question. If those days are over, do you also feel, hey, if a woman wants to walk out without no shirt on, she's going to generate some type of activity and some type of buzz?
Definitely.
And sometimes that could be a bad buzz, right?
Yes. And that's called common sense. Women, we have a brain, and we need to use it. So we just can't proclaim from the, rooftops that we can wear whatever we want and forget common sense.
So you said those days are over. I have a question for you. Let's say you and your hubby want a month's trip. You're flying out to Dubai. Would you wear yoga pants on a plane and go to the hotel in Dubai rocking yoga pants?
Of course not, because I have to prescribe to the dress code in that country, or I will be imprisoned.
So this is where I'm different than you. Where do you draw your line on your beliefs? You said like that's over. I didn't know. Is there some things?
Well, that's common sense. That's
there's
where
some-
common sense and logic comes in, right?
Well, some people will die for their beliefs. It doesn't matter where they're at.
Well, I'm not going to die over my belief on leggings.
Well, that's what I'm trying to ask. So to you, you recognize it's a blessing in America that you can wear that.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But when I go out of the country, I have to follow the rules of the other country.
So why do you think in Dubai you can't wear yoga pants?
I don't know. I would assume probably Islamic faith, maybe, but
Right.
And I don't
It's
know.
religious.
I don't know if you can or you can't. I was just asking my sister. Would she have that confidence, irregardless of knowing the law, saying, "Hey, this is me. I'm going to wear what I want," and that's the deal. But she answered it. She in the States she would do it. Outside the States she would have anxiety.
Right, exactly.
So why do women love yoga pants so much?
Oh, well, let's talk about history again, okay? And I'm sorry, it has been a patriarchal society that we have lived in. The men have made the rules. The men have had the power, okay? And unconsciously or consciously, you have discriminated and oppressed women. So we, in the past, we couldn't wear pants, and we had to wear dresses, and we couldn't wear makeup, and a lot of this. So wearing leggings, it really just makes us feel confident.
It's attention, not confident.
I would agree with that. And again, that is a point that, is there anything wrong with a woman feeling pretty? We want to look pretty. Okay, and leggings, that's a good point, because leggings, they do make us feel pretty. And when we feel pretty, we feel confident. So
But you should feel confident without the leggings. Just like the Kardashian and Skims. And this is where you could answer this, because I've always wondered this. Why do women want to wear clothing that tucks this, hides this, smooths this, as opposed to just be who you are and radiate your confidence and attract the people that like you for who you are?
Well, a lot of women like to look smaller or skinnier. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, they could exercise, couldn't they?
True.
So why you're a woman? Why would they rather wear the clothing as opposed to doing the effort to change their body type?
Well, I think a lot of women always have a need to look better and in their clothes. So I don't know on that.
I just think sometimes, do you think you have a daughter? Don't you think those things, you're kind of taking away what I call a human being? Like we talked about exercise, you have a goal, you want to lose 15, 20 pounds. Isn't that human being probably become, I don't want to say a better human being, but don't they have more confidence? Don't they feel better if those 15 pounds have come off through exercise, diet, meditation, whatever they choose, as opposed to buying the clothing that creates the illusion that the 15 pounds aren't there?
Oh, this is good. So are you saying a moderately overweight woman wearing leggings is not attractive?
No, I'm not saying at all. You've got everything confused. Let me try to do a better job asking the question. My question was, if a woman is wearing a piece of clothing, like you said, to make them feel beautiful or more confident, let's just say it's weight as an example, why not do the exercise and fix the problem?
Well, a lot of women do not like to exercise. And that's just a fact.
Okay, but you just said you're wanting women to have all these, men don't tell women what to wear and all that stuff. I agree. So do you feel a man is telling you what to do if he says, hey, why are you wearing that clothing to roll that fat to the left or to the right? Go out and work out and lose the weight.
Oh, yeah, we don't like that. Yeah, you don't have a right to tell us that we don't look nice, okay? You might think that we don't look nice, but we might feel that we look very pretty. So stop looking at our behind, or stop looking at our tail, our cottontail.
Well, I'm not. I'm not wearing the leggings. I just figured it's just interesting to me when I see women wear these yoga pants. And that wasn't 15 years ago. I never saw a girl in high school. I graduated in 1992. I never saw one yoga pant, and now it's constant. And I don't know why people just can't say it for what it is. We know how men think. We want you to look at us. We need that attention, and it sets our day.
See, speaking of young women, and I know I'm coming from the woman's point of view, but when I see girls wearing leggings and yoga pants in high school and they're tight, showing their figure, I think that's beautiful. But again, I'm not a man, so I get that. But again, men, it's okay if you look, and it's okay, we like attention from men, but where it goes awry is when that judgment comes in. Well, she's too heavy to wear yoga pants. She shouldn't be wearing yoga pants. That's very chauvinistic.
I heard an analogy the other day that women in our Western society are basically in a beauty contest every day of their lives. And that's kind of framed their mindset. And so, Ryan, as a man, how much did you think about what you're going to put on today?
Yeah, I didn't give it really any thought.
So, Wendy, how much thought did you put into your outfit for today?
Yeah, and part of that is, like I said, I want to look attractive. So I'm wearing makeup today. Do I have to wear makeup? Absolutely not. But I like to look attractive. Makeup makes me feel pretty. Just like yoga pants and leggings make me feel confident. And I'm not 18 years old and thin, but I love to wear yoga pants and leggings. I think it's two-sided. Part of that is we want to be able to wear what we want because we want to look pretty and we want to feel confident, and fashion does that. But I think what you were saying on the other side, we have been conditioned to wear certain things because of the society we live in by men.
Is there an equivalent garment that men wear to yoga pants?
I could think of like a tank top in the summer or something.
The old wife beater?
Yeah, that's about it.
Fortunately, those aren't making a comeback, I hope.
Correct.
So I guess my last question here is, are men allowed to have an opinion on yoga pants? And I'll ask that to you first, Wendy.
Of course they're allowed to have opinion on yoga pants, but just realize that a lot of women have a right to say that their opinion is chauvinistic.
Do you feel that if you're at a dinner or you're wherever you're at, and let's say married men, single men, whatever, do you feel they're not supposed to look?
No,
So the married guy, if he's with his wife and three women walk by and they got leggings and they're extremely tight, and if he looks, do you feel he's being disrespectful? Because this is what I'm saying. We don't want to look.
No, I have no problem. I think it's fine to look. Where I have the problem is when you say you should not be wearing those leggings. You're too old. You're too fat to wear those leggings.
I don't think anybody would say that, but the person's got to be able to deal with the look. We're getting in a society of so many feelings. If you're going to wear yoga pants and you weigh 600 pounds, you need to accept the criticism or the comments that come with that. You've put yourself out there. Society doesn't readjust and change for the individual.
Well, what about men who wear jeans that are falling halfway down?
I agree with you. They get the comments too. They got what they got coming.
Not the way that women get when they're wearing something that men deem inappropriate or not appropriate. It's not the same. It's that sexism when it's directed toward women. And when we talk about leggings, and this, so let's talk about a young woman, okay? So I said when a young woman is wearing leggings, I think it outlines the body and she looks beautiful.
You're just so focused to be on the woman right, the woman right. Can you open your mind and let's go really deep? Do you believe in sexualization? Do you believe that sometimes that's not good for society? Do you believe society should have some morality, some lines? You don't have testosterone. You've never been a boy. You don't know what a 12-year-old boy is thinking. You're a bright enough woman. You're married to a guy that served in the military. You know young men at 17, that's why they give them guns to go to war and shoot people, because at that time, that's what you're driven to do, protect or breed, like you said it. So my question to you is, I'm hearing the woman. Men can't tell it. I'm just asking, do you feel if women walked around in bikinis all day long or yoga pants, do you put any responsibility on them for maybe changing a little bit of society culture or creating a little bit of hypersexuality for those young men? Do you really just feel everything's the man?
Well, so you're saying that...
I was saying specifically, do you believe that sometimes in society we can over-sexualize things from imagery to clothing to whatever?
So again, you're saying women should not wear something based on the men's potential reaction.
No, I didn't say that. That's what I said. You're being laser focused on defending the woman. I'm just asking a question, and the question is, do you think that can lead or create some over-sexualization? And if it's not the yoga pants, let's talk about something different. Let's talk about the Kardashians. You know, she basically sold a sex tape and created $1 billion empire. Do you think that serves society?
Well, I think a sex tape and leggings are two different topics.
How so? Because what I'm talking about is we as a society are eroding our morality. You've heard of OnlyFans, right?
Yes,
how do you
of
think
course.
How do you think all this has started?
Well, I think there's a vast difference between, I don't see leggings and yoga pants as sexual.
Well, because you don't want to. You want to believe it's the same as wearing a dress. You want to believe go into church.
Totally.
Go into church and sit up
Totally.
here.
When we talk about sex and sex tapes and OnlyFans.
So again, you're trying to tell the men how to think. You're not even opening your mind and at least saying, you know what, that's a valid point. I don't know what that 13-year-old boy's thinking. If that 20-year-old girl walks by and she's got a great figure in the leggings, you don't want to have that conversation. You just want that 13-year-old boy to sit in his chair, not say anything, and deal with it.
Well, I will absolutely, positively, strongly say that girls should not wear certain clothes because the boy might be thinking a certain way. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. They should wear whatever they want to wear. And if men can't control their reactions, then they might just as well go live in the woods.
Well, then you need to change the world. Because you're talking awful strong just for this country because you're protected and you feel you can do this. You wouldn't be saying this in any other country.
So why do you think
if you can't see that sexualization in our country is just becoming more and more rampant, more and more everything. I mean, you can't even watch the TV and not feel uncomfortable. If I'm with my niece, I wouldn't even watch half the shows with my niece. I wouldn't be comfortable. So as long as we say, oh, you can never tell, yeah, fine. Then why even have clothes? If we can't even have an opinion as men, or at least tell a female, like, hey, you might want to not wear this, or this could happen as a result of that. If everything's just, hey, man, I'm going to do what I want, then, yeah, rock on. Do what you want.
Yeah, we're very sensitive to men telling us now what we can and can't wear. Because
but I can assure you this, as somebody that's been through hell and back, and I've lived with, unfortunately, the worst men in society. Our country is not going in a good morality way, and it's because we don't have any white lines or whatever you want to call it. There's no lines on the field. Wear whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Hey, go grocery shop. Why wear clothes? That would be my question to you. If leggings are fine, why wear the leggings? I mean, really. That's what my brain thinks, really.
Can you tell me what's so provocative about leggings?
I'm trying to, but you're not wanting to hear the male brain. You just said, I don't care what the 13-year-old boy thinks. He doesn't have a right.
Tell me, what's so
Well,
sexually provocative about leggings?
The first thing is, what do you think testosterone is? What do you think the function of testosterone is? You're right, you're not a male, so I'll give you that respect, but you're a bright woman, you're an educated woman. So what do you think testosterone does at its core?
Makes you strong.
Well, what else? Grows hair, makes us hypersexual, makes us want to breed and
Yes.
breed and breed.
Yes.
So,
But everything's covered up with leggings. Nothing is showing. Everything is covered up with leggings.
Okay. So you're saying to you the leggings is the same as a dress?
I'm saying it's the same as pants.
So you're just dying on an argument to die on an argument. So let me ask you one more time. You really feel if you walked out this door and you walked into Beaverview Bowling right across the street, you walked up to 10 guys and you said, guys, here's girl A, and she's got a T-shirt tucked in her legging pants. She's 6 foot, 120 pounds. Here's girl B, 6 foot, 120 pounds, and her dress goes up to her neck. You're gonna look at me and say they don't see any difference in those two women. Their brain's not processing any different imagery.
I'm sure it is processing different imagery.
And I'm not saying a girl can't do that. I was just asking you if you think it is processing different imagery. Do you think that benefits society? We're supposed to try to make society better before we leave Earth, not weaken it. So do you think the morality is at all even allowed in that conversation, or do you think that's two separate things? She's free and she should be able to wear whatever she wants, or if she wants to be naked, she can be naked.
Well, I that's what I'm trying to understand, why men think leggings are sexually provocative.
I'm not saying all men.
Nothing is there. It's just what happens in the male brain because she is all covered up. A man is the one who is projecting that image of the body and what is underneath the leggings. Okay.
Let's try it one other way. Do you believe in the word tease? And if you do, what is it? What is your definition?
Oh boy! Wow.
What did I do wrong?
So women, a young woman wearing tight-fitting yoga pants is a tease to a man.
You always put words in my mouth. I didn't say it is. I said, first of all, do you believe in a tease? Do you think a woman can create eroticism through flirting, teasing? I
like the word flirt better.
Why are we semantics getting this hung up on? It doesn't matter if it's flirt, tease, whatever. The goal is you're trying to create the blood pressure and get a reaction. You try to get the motor turning.
Yes,
we agree
that
on
happens. Yes, I will agree with
Jeez.
that.
Okay, so if we're trying to, what's the function of that then? Why does a woman want to get the motor turning?
To get a reaction from a man.
Okay, so why have we spent 20 minutes here saying the man's not supposed to have a reaction?
Not to leggings.
You just said, though, to get the motor turning. So you don't think the leggings create the motor turning? You think you would go to 10 guys and they would say, yeah, it doesn't do anything for us?
I would say Daisy Dukes would get the motor running because there's actually flesh showing. But leggings, you have material.
So why do we have dress codes then? This isn't a Ryan rule. Why have universities, people put in dress codes? Don't you think they said we have to put in dress codes because if we don't, there's going to be some individuals who can't focus because of these distractions?
Oh, no. Dress codes weren't instituted because, let's not get the men excited. Dress codes were instituted for professional work.
You believe that?
Professional standards. Absolutely.
Jesus, this is not a good podcast. So you think if we're in a room and there's 10 pilots and we're trying to teach the pilots how to fly a plane and 5 of the women are naked, you don't think that's a distraction?
Well, that would never happen. I think, again, you're taking it to an extreme.
Well, no, I'm not an extreme. I'm actually trying to just stay on this subject, which is what's wrong with leggings? And I'm trying to get you to see, wear them. The whole freaking world can wear them. I'm not saying not to wear them, but what I am saying is it generates a thought. And you're mad that even a thought's generated. So all I was trying to get you to see or entertain is if the clothing, which you're trying to say, well, that's institutions and they were doing that. Okay, it might be the case, but there was a thought behind it, because if we're in a room and no one had clothes on, do you think the human can function and focus?
Well, you're talking about no clothes. I'm talking about clothes. I think there's a vast difference there.
No, leggings. Do you think there's some, let me ask it this way. You're not religious, you're spiritual, correct?
Yes.
You know I love you, so
Yes.
do not be offended by this. Do you
Of course
think
not.
do you think preachers like women walking into church with leggings?
No.
Why?
But they don't like,
Well, hang on. I would like to hear your opinion. Why? You were quick to say no.
because that's too casual for a church setting.
You don't think the preacher would think that's sexualization?
Of course not.
Wow. Didn't you remember the movie Footloose?
Yeah.
What was that whole movie about? And then we'll end it with this, because I know I can see Eric saying we got to shut this down. But I just want to end it with this. At the function of Footloose, what was that main movie about?
They were not allowed to dance. Dancing was a sin.
Thank you. I rest my case.
Wow, guys. We learned a lot. We covered a lot of
You got
ground
my
today.
blood pressure going on that episode, man.
Well, you get your heart rate up working out, or you can have
Look
your
at
heart
my
rate.
watch. It's 150 beats a minute.
So, yeah, we covered a lot of ground. Anything you learned about your sister in this podcast?
Same thing I always say. I'm glad she doesn't acquiesce. You can see I was that this podcast for you listeners was legit. She was she was starting to piss me off. I was getting worked up, but at the end of the day, that's why I respect her. I don't want her to change just because of my frustration.
Fluffy, but what about you? What did you learn about Ryan?
That was such a great conversation, because we have had that conversation at home, and Ryan and I do not agree with that. We haven't come to much of a consensus on that. So that was fun. But when we talk about body awareness and mental health and physical health, Ryan is such an exemplary example of what physical health can do to help a person's mental health. And I just love that about him.
At the end of the day, can we agree that if wearing yoga pants motivates you to go out and be physically active, then that's a good thing?
Wear them all day long.
Yeah, it's athletic wear at its core, but women just have embraced that as just, part of our whole wardrobe, because we love them.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Fluffy and the CEO, starring Wendy Christensen as Fluffy and Ryan McDaniel as the CEO. Written, directed, produced, and moderated by Eric Christensen. This show is supported by Duncan Oil Company, changing the way you view energy companies. A special thanks to our VP of Merch, Catherine McDaniel. Please check out our merch by visiting fluffyandtheceo.com. And remember, when you're feeling down, just turn on the show. Fluffy and the CEO, they'll make your day glow. With their love and laughter, they'll chase away the blues. Fluffy and the CEO, they're here for me and you. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you next season on the Fluffy and the CEO podcast.